Hey, everybody. I think it's a really good idea for actors, younger actors specifically, to study the classics and try to have a movie night a couple of nights a week, maybe once a week. I guess would be good, where you go in and watch classic movies um, of older actors. And when I say classic, I'm talking about from the 40s up. You can even go beyond that if you want. I love older movies, um, specifically the noir movies. Um, and so I'm a movie buff. I love watching old classics and older actors, and I watch them to see their behavior and the differences in the actors from then until now. It's a pretty incredible difference, and there is a difference. And if you are a classic buff and you watch this, you will see it. You will notice it. And I think everybody, if you're going to be in the film industry in this career and you want to make it your career, you should study as much as you can about old Hollywood, how it came about, how it got started. Do you know what crafty services are, what crafty is? Do you know how it got started? It's a very interesting story behind that. There's a lot of things you probably don't know that are in place today as to why we call things what we call them. There's a whole lingo out there, and it started back in the day, way before any of us were born. And so it's a very interesting study to go back and read up on that and why the Hollywood sign was in place where it was. It actually wasn't Hollywood film. It was a sign that was placed up there called Hollywood Land because of the real estate that was being sold down in the valley and around it. And so they placed this big sign up in the hills that said Hollywood Land so people could find that real estate development. It didn't have anything to do with film. It just so happened that there was a lot of real estate, a lot of open land, and so somebody decided to, yeah, we could move this. A lot of film stuff was going on in New York at that time, and move stuff out to where they could film in these wide open spaces, and enhance a film, a silent film, and which it did, because they were actually in locations. That's how locations got started. It was no longer, just in a stage setting. Like it went from theater to that, filming on a stage or in a sound stage. Basically, then it kind of all moved out to California. There's so much to learn, and it's very interesting. And if you go back and study it and watch it and just look at the actors from then until now, and it's an interesting study. I love it, and I think that a lot of young actors these days don't even know stars from the 80s, which is very sad to me. A lot of the bigger stars, very well known. I mentioned someone the other day, and the young actress says, "Who's that?" And this was somebody that's very famous that she never heard of. So if you're not even watching the classic films and going back and studying, even the way the cinema is film from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, it changes ever so often. And you'll see a huge difference in what the 60s classics were to the 70s. Huge difference. Go back and watch movies during that time. There's a huge difference in them. And it's a lot of fun to see that change. And the change is made because of society, because of people, because of the changing times that we are in. And it's a very interesting study. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. You know, learn the history of the craft that you're wanting to go into. Learn everything you can. It'll make you more well-rounded and have more of an understanding in front of and behind the camera. We'll talk soon.